The question of collapse. What happens when the greatest powers on earth fall? When mighty empires, once unshakable, vanish into dust? History is filled with mystery. The fall of Rome, the disappearance of the Mayans, the sudden decline of the Mongol Empire, the long death of the Ottomans, and the forgotten collapse of the Indus Valley Civilization. Were these collapses caused by war, by betrayal, by famine, plague, or something far greater? Or are all civilizations doomed to fall, no matter how powerful they become? This is the story of the rise and shocking fall of great civilizations. The fall of Rome. For nearly 1,000 years, Rome was unstoppable. From a small city on the banks of the Tiber River, it rose to dominate the Mediterranean. Its legions conquered vast lands, its roads stretched across continents, and its laws shaped the world. But power breeds corruption. By the 3rd century AD, Rome was rotting from within. Greedy senators enriched themselves, emperors murdered each other for power, and citizens lost faith in the state. Meanwhile, the empire faced endless invasions. The Goths, the Vandals, the Huns. Each strike weakened Rome further. In 410 AD, the unthinkable happened. The Visigoths stormed Rome itself. The Eternal City was sacked. And in 476 AD, the last emperor of the West was overthrown. The Western Roman Empire was gone. The Mayan collapse. Far away, across the ocean, another great power thrived. The Mayan civilization. They built towering pyramids, mastered astronomy, and created calendars more accurate than Europe's. And then, suddenly, around the 9th century, they vanished. Cities like Tikal and Copan were abandoned. Temples left to the jungle. The people scattered. Why? Some say devastating droughts starved the population. Others point to endless wars between rival city-states. Still others whisper of rebellion. Ordinary people rising against rulers who demanded too much. To this day, the truth remains a mystery. One of the world's most advanced civilizations simply disappeared. The Mongol Empire's sudden decline. In the 13th century, from the cold steppes of Mongolia came a storm. Genghis Khan forged the Mongol Empire, the largest land empire in human history. His armies were unmatched. They rode faster than any other. They struck without mercy. From China to Eastern Europe, no land was safe. And yet, within just a century, it all began to crumble. Why? The answer lies within the empire itself. After Genghis Khan's death, his descendants fought each other for power. Civil war tore the empire apart. At the same time, the Black Death swept through Asia and Europe, killing millions and destroying trade. The lifeline of Mongol rule. By the 14th century, the Mongol Empire had fractured into smaller states. The greatest conquerors in history were gone almost as quickly as they had risen. The Ottoman Empire. For 6 centuries, the Ottoman Empire ruled 3 continents. They were feared in battle. They commanded trade routes. And in 1453, they shocked the world by capturing Constantinople, ending the Byzantine Empire forever. But as centuries passed, their strength began to fade. Europe surged ahead with the Renaissance, the Age of Exploration, and the Industrial Revolution. The Ottomans fell behind. Corruption spread through the empire. Nationalist movements tore it apart from within. And then came the First World War. Allied with Germany, the Ottomans fought and lost. By 1922, the empire was no more. The once mighty Ottomans, rulers of a vast realm, were remembered as the sick man of Europe. The Indus Valley Mystery. But long before Rome, the Mayans, the Mongols, or the Ottomans, there was another. The Indus Valley Civilization. 5,000 years ago, in what is today Pakistan and India, they built advanced cities. Streets laid out in perfect grids, sophisticated drainage systems, trade networks stretching hundreds of miles. And then, around 1900 BC, it ended. The cities were abandoned. The people vanished. Historians debate why. Some say climate change dried up the rivers. Others point to invasion. Still others believe disease destroyed their society. But one truth remains. This was one of the first great civilizations in human history, and it disappeared almost without a trace. Lessons from collapse. So what do these stories tell us? Rome, the Mayans, the Mongols, the Ottomans, the Indus Valley. Each thought they would last forever. None did. Patterns emerge: greed, corruption, civil war, environmental disaster, and always arrogance. The belief that greatness is permanent. But history whispers a warning. No empire lasts forever, and perhaps neither will ours. Today we live in a world of towering cities, advanced technology, and global empires of power. But are we making the same mistakes? Inequality, corruption, environmental destruction. Could we, too, one day collapse? The story of history is not only about rise, but about fall. The Roman legions, the Mayan astronomers, the Mongol horsemen, the Ottoman sultans, the builders of the Indus Valley. All are gone. All became dust. The question is not if civilizations will fall, but when. And when we fall, who will rise after us? This was the story of the fall of great civilizations,